Hey guys, how you going? Hey guys, you worried about the effects of 5G radiation? Well, let me introduce you to the affiliate of this video. They're called EMF Harmonized, and they filter out the harmful RF waves that actually damage our DNA. Kids are also more susceptible to the RF waves than adults are, and what they do is EMFs clump together red blood cells and cause lots of problems. This technology prevents that. And as you can see, they have products for your phone, your tablet and your computer, as well as your body. You can actually buy these for your body. So if you'd like to help a fellow truther and help me out as well, please check out the affiliate link down below. They also actually have a video showing you the red blood cells, how they clump together with 5G radiation, and how this technology protects you from that. Okay guys, if you're interested, check out the affiliate link below. Thanks guys. Okay, and I'm back. From Ali Beth Stuckey at Conservative Milan. I know I'm the millionth person to say it, but Texas needs a prayer. There are a lot of people who are stuck without power and access to the resources they need. Pray that the power returns for the vulnerable, sick, elderly, people with special needs, and families with babies, etc., etc. Okay, because it seems that Texas is, there's a lot of places without power at the moment, believe it or not, and I think a lot of that is due to trying to run on green energy, because they were trying to switch it over. And what happens with solar panels when it snows and there is no sun? There's been no sun here for nearly a week, and there won't be for another week. Also, what happens to wind turbines in the freezing cold? Okay, well, I'll let you know. From Malcolm Roberts, this year the coldest weather in decades arrives in Western Europe. The freezing weather has rendered Germany's 30,000 wind turbines to idleness. It's not just the wind turbines. Solar panels covered with snow are also rendered useless. Wow. Is there an article here? Huh. That doesn't have much to do with, hang on a sec, guys. This link that they put in doesn't have anything to do with what they were talking about. Hang on. Okay, well, the article included there is something about India and their tax. So I have no idea what that was about. Okay, there could have been a mistake there. Okay, the next one. What a tragedy. Okay, what a tragic was to find out that green energy cannot handle cold weather. We can now add death to JB's administration agenda. Oh, dear me. This is awful. Okay, from Grace at Really Graceful. Can the government control the weather? Operation Popeye and weather. And there's a video here, guys. I would suggest that we all probably watch this. I think I will be after I make this video. I'm going to go and watch this. From Steve Mudflap McGrew's Remasculated podcast. Well, Trump may have hurt your feelings, but Biden hurt your furnaces. How sad's that? No heat, no money. From Charlie Kirk at Charlie Kirk 11. While thousands of Americans are without power because of faulty energy infrastructure, this is your daily reminder that JB rescinded a Mr. T executive order banning Chinese involvement in our power grid. Why? I don't know. Are you seeing it now? Is Is this why? Is this why your electricity's gone off? Boy, those windmills and solar panels sure are paying off for everybody. Freezing to death is part of the Green New Deal. Enjoy. That sure looks like that's what they wanted to do. This is why, look, honestly, none of this green energy that they're putting forward, like wind turbines and solar power, it's not going to work if it's cloudy and there's no wind. And that can happen a lot. Sorry guys, just getting a jumper on. Because even though it's summer here in Australia, where I am, it's like 12 degrees Celsius. So cool for summer, very cool for summer. It's normally up in the 20s, 30s. This one from Cat Turd at Cat Turd 2. Reminder, the people responsible for all the worthless solar panels and windmills are the same people who believe cow farts are going to destroy the planet Earth in 12 years. If you're freezing your behind off right now, you know why. This is what this was all about. To me, it's a money operation. That's what I think it is. From Jimmy Lee at CEO Jimmy Lee, what the ice storm in Texas should teach everyone: never trust anyone. Be prepared, have a plan and supplies, because only you can protect you and your family. Yes, your government won't be there when you really need them. They cannot. Or they'd be making house calls to millions of people. It just wouldn't work. So you're the only one who can protect yourself and your family. And honestly, that's why I like having a wood heater. Because even where I am in Australia on the mountains, it does snow. And sometimes our electricity goes out when it snows. And so I would prefer to have a wood heater that I don't have to rely on electricity, and my wood heater I can also cook on. If I need to, I can heat the kettle up. If I need to, I can cook a meal. And that is one good thing, and that's why I remember in the 90s they were trying to get rid of them. They were trying to stop people from installing any new wood burners. So, but anyway, okay, David Graham from Logistics AU, and I was replying to Cat Turd and Homeschooling. Remember, we were all finished 20 years ago, according to the UN expert in 1989? We would all be eco-refugees. Only had 10 years left and blamed all on the still unproven GHG theory with no empirical evidence, along with local experts saying no more rain or snow. How do so many get it wrong? And this was in June 29th, 1989. The United Nations, a senior UN environment official, says entire nations could be wiped off the face of the earth by rising sea levels if the global warming trend is not reversed by the year 2000. Coastal floodings and crop failures would create an exodus of eco-refugees, threatening political chaos, said Noel Brown, director of the New York office of the UN Environmental Programme, or UNEP. He said governments have a 10-year window of opportunity to solve the greenhouse effect before it goes beyond human control. So does it make sense yet? Because they've been doing this, and before this it was going to be an ice age. So this was interesting. This one from Harry _ the Cool Twin. Why is the snow burning and not melting? Now, I can't see what he's talking about. Where is this snow? How is it burning? Where is it burning? I can't see it. I don't want to play the video itself. I will include all links down below, guys. They'll either be in the description or in the pinned comment if you're on YouTube. I can't see anything. Is there somewhere? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, he's picking up some snow, rolling it into a ball. What's he going to do? Sorry guys, interesting. He's lighting the snow on fire. Hang on a sec. Oh, it's going black. I seen this on Facebook the other day. Hang on a sec. There we go, that's a bit better. Is there water coming off it? There's no water dripping off it. No, it's actually, look at that, little sparks. Can you see that? I can see little sparks. This is why we need to go and watch that video that Really Graceful put up about can they do things with the weather. Okay, from ConspiracyBot at ConspiracyBot. Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth. Albert Einstein. Do not blindly believe what you're being told. Okay, from Zuby at Zuby Music. Having a degree is not a substitute for critical thinking, nor does it imply it. And yes, I know many people who have gone to university who still believe the mainstream news and everything that they're told. ConspiracyBot at ConspiracyBot. Wake up, people. There are psychopaths guiding every aspect of your life and you do not even realise it. Do you realise that we are run by the worst of the worst? That a lot of them are criminals? Oh dear, how did we get to here? At no one at Tweet Truth to Me. Please explain to me how Mr. DT's sexual past was relevant, but Kamala Harris's past is off limits. Yes, I would like to know that too. It was all over the place, like it was all over everywhere, splashed all over everywhere when it was DT. But Kamala Harris, you're not allowed to even mention anything about that. This one from Scott Adams at Scott Adams says, iPhones are designed to easily slip out of your hand and break. It isn't an accident. Put another way, iPhones are designed to be ugly in the sense that they need a case. Well, I'd agree with the design to easily slip out of your hand, and so are Samsung. Or maybe it's just me, because I have a lot of, it doesn't matter whether it's an iPhone or a Samsung, I tend to drop them all. So I've got one now with the lanyard that I can actually hang around my neck so that I don't drop it. Okay, ConspiracyBot at ConspiracyBot. Why are over 7 billion people allowing 13 families to control every aspect of our lives, our souls, and our planet? Interesting, isn't it? From Anna Kate at Anna Kate, it's crazy to think how many people are brainwashed by the propaganda pushed by establishment media. It really is. From Margot at M_Keenum. Why isn't anyone talking about the half-dozen Iranians that were caught at the Arizona border? Crickets? Isn't that... because they come from everywhere to cross the Arizona border. It's not just... it's not just Mexico. Like, this is... people from all over the world are landing there to get in through that border. From Albums Out Now... at Real Bryson Gray says, can Christian conservative parents take your kids out of the school system? Oh, in Australia, in Sydney, 3-year-olds are getting taught about gender. So seriously, if I had my children in school, I would be pulling them out. Unfortunately, well, fortunately, my grandkids are with my daughter, but she does send them to school. So there's nothing I can kind of do about that. Only to try to gently let her know, you know, that things are going on you might not want your children to learn. From Yig at Yig Starhouse, she says, I know life can be tough, but geez, that must be some nightmare relationship to do this. Nah, can't be that. Must be something else, I'm sure. Oh dear, how did she turn out from that to that? What on earth happened? I think we may have an idea, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to leave you to decide. I'm not going to say much. I'm just going to leave you to decide, and I already went over this one, didn't I? Yes, I pay that per month. Rent. And there's nothing cheaper. I have looked. And unless I go further away from my family, which my family are begging me not to do, then I can pay maybe $50 less a week. Maybe living in worse conditions than I'm in. Like, the house I'm in is nice, actually. It's a nice little house, but it's little. But I could end up somewhere in worse condition, you know, for less. So I've kind of just got to hang on here. And when the bills come in, there pretty much is not much left to... Because I have to run my car, I have to get my groceries. I'm going to have to give up smoking. There's just... I don't see any way around anything. So who knows? Who knows? I've been trying to think as to what to do. That I do have another choice, is move back in with my daughter or my parents, which I really don't want to do. I do like to live alone. I like the quiet. I hate saying it. It seems like it's very selfish, but I really enjoy my own company. Anyway, okay, from Malcolm Roberts at M. Roberts, Queensland. Look no further to find the 1%. These public servants earn more than 99.9% of Australians, and you pay them. The worst offender is Stephen Rue, who receives a staggering $3.15 million of taxpayers' money as CEO of NBN Co. Great. Okay, let's have a little dig into here and see what's going on. Make it bigger. This is from 9 News, which I wouldn't normally give the time of day. But I think it's what we're looking at here is exposure. It doesn't matter where it's coming from now. I think people are going to start clicking on, even from mainstream media. They are members of an elite club, pocketing annual salary packages of more than $1 million per year. But the 27 men and women aren't investment bankers, brain surgeons, or casino moguls. They're Australian public servants. With pay packets that dwarf their international counterparts, they rake in a combined $35.3 million in the 2019-20 financial year. A 9 News analysis of all federal government departments and agencies reveals the highest earning key management personnel earn more than 99.9% of the rest of us. They're not servants, Emily Dye, Policy Director of the Australian Taxpayers Alliance, told 9 News. They're making a CEO's salary. The difference with a CEO's salary, you don't have to buy their products. They're doing something for the good of society, and they should see it as such. The fattest remuneration was $3.15 million paid to Stephen Rue, CEO of the NBN Co. And the NBN doesn't even work properly. Next was Paul Broad, CEO and MD of Snowy Hydro, at $2.08 million. Third and fourth spots went to Christine Holgate and Bob Black, ex-CEO and ex-COO of the Australian Postal Corporation, both of whom departed their more than $1.5 million a year jobs last year in the fallout of the scandal over the gifting of $20,000 worth of luxury Cartier watches to executives as rewards. The extent of the bloated packages, which are far higher than those of any of Canberra's politicians, including the Prime Minister, emerge as many key workers tighten their belts amid COVID wage freezes, reduced hours and job losses. Richard... Oh, you can't, really? You can't have that. Richard Wankmuller. Oh, I could say so much right now. Okay, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. CEO of Inland Rail at the Australian Rail Track Corp received $1.5 million. He's well placed for a comfortable life after he retires in mid-2021. The NBN has a whopping 7 people in the $1 million plus club. In addition to the CEO, it includes 2 chief customer officers, the CFO, chief network deployment officer, and chief strategy officer. It's a rich management structure for a government-owned corporation that doesn't pay corporate tax. Ralph Arndt, chief investment officer at Future Fund Management, pulled in $1.4 million, almost half, $628,940, of which was in bonuses. Similarly, Alison Tarditi, chief investment officer at Commonwealth Superannuation Corporation, received $1.2 million, with half, $607,725, from bonuses. Okay, let's have a look. Stephen Rue, CEO, NBN Company, over $3 million, including bonuses at $1.1 million, or nearly 1.2. Paul Broad, CEO and MD of Snowy Hydro, $2 million, or nearly 2.1, including bonuses of $934,000. Christine Holgate, Australian Postal Corp, $1,614,470. Bob Black, Group COO, Australian Postal Corp, $1.5 million. Richard Wankmuller, I'm biting my tongue so hard. CEO, Inland Rail, Australian Rail Track Corp, $1.5 million. Brad Whitcomb, Chief Officer Residential, NBN Co, $1.4 million. Raphael Arndt, Future Management Fund, $1.3 million. Graham Millett, CEO of WSA, Western Sydney Airport, that isn't even built yet, $1,364,845. Including termination benefits of $369,000. Hey? Okay. Has he been terminated? And what's going on with the Western Sydney Airport? Please don't build it. Go away. Paul Taylor, Chief Customer Officer Business of the NBN Co, is $1.358 million. Philip Knox, CFO of NBN, $1.313 million. Alison Tarditi, Chief Investment Officer, $1.2. Catherine Dyer, Chief Network Deployment Officer of NBN, nearly 2. Renee Lyons, Secretary at Services Australia, $1.168 million. Heather Smith, as Secretary at the Department of Industry, Science and Energy. Hey, how do secretaries get 1.1? You've got to be kidding. Michael Medak, AO, Secretary, Infrastructure of Transport, $1.1 million. And the last one, Heather Smith, was Science and Energy. John Fullerton, CEO of Australia Rail Track Corp, $1.1 million. John Murphy, Deputy CEO of Services Australia, nearly $1.1 million. Philip Lowe, Governor, Reserve Bank of Australia, nearly $1.1 million. Ian Graham, CEO Retail, Snowy Hydro, nearly $1.1 million. Chief Justice William Alstergren, Chief Justice Family and Federal Court of Australia, 1.0, nearly 1.1, not quite, but, or 1.5, okay. Angus Campbell, Chief of Defence, just over $1 million. Chief Justice James Alsop, AO, Chief Justice Federal Court, $1 million, just over. Martin Parkinson, Secretary of the Department of PMC, over $1 million. Larry Marshall, CEO from CSIRO, criminal, over $1 million. JB Rousselot, Chief Strategy Officer at NBN Co at over $1 million. Roger Whitby, COO of Snowy Hydro, over $1 million. Will Irving, NBN Co, Strategy and Transformation Officer, over $1 million. Stephanie Fahey, CEO of Australian Trade and Investment Commission, $975,000. Did I miss this? David Anderson, MD at ABC, $998,000. Michelle Brenigis, Secretary at Department of Education, Skills and Employment, $968,000. Why are we paying these people this much? They're not doing anything. Or it sure looks like they're not doing anything. Annette Carey, EGM International Services, Australian Postal Corp, $967,000. Greg Moriarty, Secretary of Defence, $954,000. Gordon Weimer, NBN Co, $949,000. Francis Adamson, Secretary of Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, $938,000. Chris Jordan AO, Commissioner of Taxation at the ATO, $929,000. Michael Pizzulo, Secretary of Department of Home Affairs, $918,000. And Rosemary Huxtable, Secretary of Department of Finance, $915,000. Some were elevated into the Millionaires Club by generous payouts which made up more than half of their annual pay packets. For Martin Parkinson, ex-Secretary of the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet, it was more than 80% of his total pay. Graham Millett, CEO of WSA Co, was pushed up to $1.36 million thanks to more than $369 in termination benefits. And while the coronavirus pandemic has had a negative impact on many in the private sector, our reliance on the public sector has increased. If you have a public sector job, you're doing great, the ATA's Miss Dye added. If you don't, life kind of sucks right now. My God, you're telling me. I can barely pay my... Oh my God. And these people... Oh. Do you know how angry it makes me? Do you know how angry it makes me too? To know that we are being taxed to oblivion on cigarettes and petrol and everything else that you can imagine. We are being taxed to the hilt. While, okay. If you don't, yeah, we've read that. 5 of the top earners were women, 2 of whom only made the $1 million cult because of termination benefits, and 1 who has since left her job. Some of the agencies generate their own revenue, so salaries are funded by a combination of taxpayers and profit. Total remuneration can include base salary, bonuses, benefits and allowances, superannuation contributions, long service leave and termination payments. Minister for Education and Youth, Alan Tudge, defended the salaries today, saying they are paid well, but they are very highly skilled people, particularly those who are running departments. They're in charge of thousands of people, have very significant responsibilities, and they obviously have to have competitive salaries to the private sector. No, they don't. Let them, okay, don't give them any government funding and see how they stand up. See if they do any good. This is ridiculous. Oh my goodness, Australia, we should be upset. Okay, we should be even more upset over this. Scott Morrison, today the AstraZeneca vaccine has been approved for use in Australia, the second vaccine to receive such approval from our own world-class independent safety regulator, the TGA. I'm saying that between gritted teeth. Having been found to be safe and okay, you can believe that. I'm sorry, I'm moving on. Oh dear, not again. I don't want to see the tweet again. Okay, I've got to shut some of these off. From Dave Willison, motto Quari Verum, Dave Willis, we now have white tears and black tears. Do we have white blood and black blood too? Powderfinger's song depicting black death in custody and the black tears shed. There are more white deaths in custody, even on a pro rata basis, but I shed no white tears for them. What have Powderfinger done? They've actually gotten into this divide everybody up thing. Guys, if you're Australian, you just need to stick together. Instead of buying into dividing, we need to stick together. Okay, we've got this one from John Ruddick at John Ruddick 2. Maybe I'm a hopeless optimist, but Chairman Dan looked rattled at his press conference today. I didn't see it, but I'll take your word for it. This one from Katina at Miss Hissycat. Alan Jones has summed up Andrews perfectly tonight. Mass hysteria and fear to control the natives, plus Adam Crichton also adding common sense to the Andrews lockdown. Hope everyone was listening, as this lunatic must step down before there are more tragedies. And then we have this, apparently from Not Another Nasty One at nasty1_not. A group of asylum seekers being housed at the expense of the British taxpayer in a Reading hotel have staged a hunger strike, protesting against the quality of the free food they are given. I'm not going to say any more. I don't trust myself to speak right now. You can let me know what you think down below. Okay, this one from Monica at Monica_2978. Well, the vaccine's coming and hotel quarantine workers will be getting their dose by the end of the month. So why build a detention centre now, Daniel Andrews? Interesting. As I said, I'm not going to say much. I'm just going to give you what I see and I'm going to let you think. I'll give you my opinion every now and then, but I'm mainly going to try and let you think, you know, your opinion. From Avi Yamini at Osrali Avi, an MMA gym based in Melbourne's southeast has refused to close its doors through 3 lockdowns. They're now busier than ever. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I'm still not going to say much. From Prue McSween at McSween_Prue. Are they serious? Australian defence secrets are being held in a Chinese-owned data storage firm. When are we going to wake up? At Scott Morrison, this is an absolute joke. Oh dear. As I said, guys, I'm not going to say too much because honestly, I could let loose on the whole thing. Oh my goodness. City lawyers at Lawyers City, Melburnians should watch very closely what Governor Newsom has done and is doing to Los Angeles. The proposition that a premier would push a city into massive decline so his cronies can profit along the way is not far-fetched. It's real. People are fleeing LA. Melbourne next? I think they already are. I think as soon as when Victoria opened, I think people just fled. The altruistic capitalist at Kimchi2613. If the lockdown is extended in Victoria, we're going to witness the greatest display of civil disobedience Australia's ever seen to date. The tide is finally turning. Wow. That's today. That should be interesting. And from Oz Crime News, latest Victoria's holiday in coronavirus cluster grew to 17 cases as another woman tests positive after attending a family function with an infected hotel quarantine worker. The first wave, 2020 Melbourne, was also similar. Security guard attended family gathering. Do the workers that are engaged in the quarantine hotels think it's just another day at the office and can leave shift and go home to family gatherings because they feel well? Extremely interesting. And this one from James Hershen at the Jim Jams. Trudeau unveils details of assault-style gun buyback program. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know what I'll say to that? This is ridiculous. I want to say so much more, But this is ridiculous. Okay, Robert Kimball, Time for the People, Robert_Kimball. The United Kingdom's decision to leave the European Union was entirely the correct one. The British politicians, British civil servants and British mainstream media's response to that decision has been a repulsive anti-democratic reaction to that historic result. Shameful. And it has. You know what I think? All of this is exposure. The whole lot. Everything's getting exposed. Everything. This one from Boris Johnson. I know a lot of people don't like him. At Boris Johnson. Freedom of speech is at the very core of our democracy. It is absolutely right that our great universities, the historic centres of free thinking and ideas, will now have this freedom protected and bolstered with stronger legal protections. The universities, they're the ones teaching everyone how to become oh, no, hang on. Okay. If you're allowed to freedom of speech at universities, that is a good thing. If you really do have free speech and you allow both sides to talk, you get better conversation. You will get it is a good idea. At first I thought he was just doing it for universities to teach more left-leaning policies, but look, if it's free speech on both sides, I'm all for it. Apparently Fauci's been awarded $1 million Israel Prize for speaking the truth to power amid a pandemic. America's top infectious disease official, Dr. Anthony Fauci, received a prestigious $1 million Israeli prize on Monday, along with 6 other researchers who shared 2 additional $1 million prizes for their contributions to health and medicine. The Dan David Prize, affiliated with Tel Aviv University, said it honoured Fauci for his career in public health and speaking truth to power during the politicised COVID-19 crisis. Fauci is the consummate model of leadership and impact in public health, the awards committee said in a statement. Sorry, I did a voice then. The award sets aside 10% of the prize money for academic scholarships in each winner's field. Fauci gets to determine the nature of the scholarships. Fauci's been director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases at the U.S. National Institute of Health since 1984, advising seven presidents on domestic and global health issues. His research into HIV helped develop treatments to enable carriers of the virus to link. Here we go. I could say so much again. I'm not going to say anything. In 2003, he helped launch the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS relief under the George W. Bush administration, which the NIH credits with saving millions of lives in the developing world. Well, that all depends. When you make a disease, are you still like saving millions of lives by... Oh, jeez. What a mess. All I can say is this whole thing's a mess. Okay, Fauci became a household name in the US after appearing in televised presidential briefings on the Rona. He was a trusted authority for the public on preventative measures against the Rona, even as former President Donald Trump downplayed the virus and blocked Fauci from appearing on several television programs. Trump called Fauci part of the group of idiots and suggested he might fire him after the presidential election, which Trump lost. Can you hear me gritting my teeth? Okay. Do we think I'll be able to read this to the end? I don't know. Let's have a go. As the pandemic unravelled, Fauci leveraged his considerable communication skills to address people gripped by fear and anxiety and worked them into a relentless panic. Worked relentlessly to inform individuals in the United States and elsewhere about the public health measures essential for containing the pandemic spread, the awards committee said. In addition, he has been widely praised for his courage in speaking truth to power in a highly charged political environment. The Dan David Prize, the Damn David Prize, established by the late Italian-Israeli philanthropist Dan David, annually awards 3 prizes of $1 million, honouring contributions to knowledge of the past, contributions to society in the present, and advances for the future. Oh dear. This year, the 3 awards focused on health and medicine. Of course they did. Historians Alison Bashford of the University of New South Wales in Sydney, Catherine Park of Harvard University, and Keith Walu of Princeton University are sharing a $1 million prize for studying the history of health and medicine. Historians are studying health and medicine? The history of it? No, they're the gatekeepers of the information. Zelig S. Shah of Israel's Weizmann Institute of Science, Carl June of the University of Pennsylvania, and Stephen Rosenberg of the NIH National Cancer Institute are sharing a $1 million prize for pioneering anti-cancer immunotherapy. How about finding the cause? They can't even do that. Okay. Anyway, I'll leave that up to you to decide what you think about that. As I said, I'm going to try and close my mouth. Carol Baker at Carol105 Baker. I quote Cuomo again, and this is a doozy. COVID didn't get into the aged care from people from hospital. It came from the workers and visitors who didn't know they had it. Duh, the patients from hospital had a problem, apparently. I don't know. Is this getting more ridiculous, or is it just me? Oh no. Okay, what was here was Mr. and Mrs. Biden, and Mr. Biden was looking very, very confused indeed. I was going to show you, but I can't now because it's gone. And that's how quick. It was only in half an hour ago, or no, hang on, maybe an hour ago now that I bookmarked all these. Okay, let's go over to Donald Trump Jr. And who could have guessed that the guy who couldn't remember where he was, give or take 50% of the time, wasn't going to be the guy actually in charge? Literally my thesis in liberal privilege. Well, Kamala Harris has already taken head of state phone calls with world leaders. That's because the other one's totally incapable of doing anything. So, I did share that one. So that's in there twice. I have made a couple of mistakes when I've been trying to organise it into some sort of order for you guys, so that I'm not jumping around all over the place. Cat Turd at Cat Turd 2. Kiss my non-synthetic behind. At Disclosed TV, new Bill Gates. All rich countries should move to 100% synthetic beef. You can get used to the taste difference. You know what I say about that? You don't want to know. Or maybe you do want to know, but I can't say it because, you know how it is. And guys, this is because I am sharing this video on YouTube, Bitchute, hopefully Bitchute. I have not been able to upload to Bitchute for like a week and a half. Every video now is not going through. So I will keep trying, but I'm only going to try once. If it doesn't go through, I'm not trying again. And if you can't find me on Bitchute, please come over to Rumble. They are the only ones pretty much letting everything go through. Well, put it this way, YouTube are doing better than Bitchute at the moment. Okay, from Sarah A. Carter at Sarah Carter DC. Joe Scarborough goes on Twitter tirade after downplaying devastation of summer BLM rights. This was his comment. I'm not going to confuse a taco stand with the United States Capitol. What a slap in the face to so many businesses that were... Oh... Mm. Mm. I'm trying not to growl. Oh, this is insane. John here to help. Wow. This Friday, February 19th, SCOTUS will hear the first discussions of election fraud cases brought by Lynn Wood and Sidney Powell. Information, interviews and physical evidence I provided will be on the Supreme Court record for the first time. I have provided the intelligence to prove this. And it's got something to do with Chief Justice Roberts and all that, you know. Things will start to turn. Also, Lynn Wood was on Telegram saying Signal, the app, delete it. DS run. I hope you get what I'm saying there. Robbie Starbuck at Robbie Starbuck. If Trump was president right now, kids would be in school. He would have addressed the power outages across the South already. He'd be taking his own head of state calls instead of his VP doing it while he plays Mario Kart. And China would not be celebrating. Okay, from John again at John here to help. I've just been told that they're already writing and preparing to film the State of the Union address. It will be by video for the safety of all involved to prevent anyone catching anything. JB is clearly unable to make it through the SO2. Highly edited video is his only option. If the result doesn't appear authentic enough, then Camilla will handle part of it as a demonstration of co-equal leadership. All designed, of course, to hide his true state. And this, from Wayne Dupre Media, LLC. De Niro had previously praised New York Governor Andrew Cuomo for his lockdown policies. So there goes, we already know De Niro's a shill. What's the bet, CIA? And another one from Wayne Dupre Media. Graham is now going after Mitch. We have reached the point of no return with the Republican Party. Didn't they say they're going to turn on each other? And I've done it again. The same thing twice. This one from Candace Owens. This was interesting. At Real Candace O. Never forget the lies still being unveiled about January 6th. No pipe things were ever placed on January 6th. No DT supporters behind those pipe bombs. Every person who died was a Mr. T supporter. No police officer was ever beaten to death with a fire extinguisher. No, because they retracted that story. He died of a stroke. He actually went home and rang his family member, I think, or somebody, and just said that he got pepper sprayed, and then he died of a stroke later. Thomas Covenant unbeliever at Pill and Puller. Sounds like a payoff. Anthony Fauci wins $1,000 Israeli prize for defending science. If that's what science is, we're in trouble. Because over and over again, they're proving that whatever science they're using is maybe not correct. Anyway, I'm going to leave it to what you guys let me know what you think down below. As I said, I didn't want to say too much. I want to get you guys thinking. See what you think. And as I'm still a little bit unwell, my concentration's not as good as it should be. So I will be back hopefully tomorrow, all being well. And I will speak to you then. That's it for today, guys. I hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening wherever you are. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay, guys. Bye.